Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. I'm holding the phone with my hand because my tripod has broken. Never mind, I'll buy a new one. And today is day one of Vlogmas. I'm going to be uploading every single day at 9 p.m. my time in Barcelona, Spain. And the objective of my Vlogmas that I do every year is to upload every day to kind of get more comfortable in front of the camera and to seduce the algorithm and to connect more with you. My Vlogmas participation has nothing to do with Christmas because I kind of hate Christmas. I have a video called Why I Hate Christmas, and around this time of year it tends to do quite well. But today I wanted to make a video about how to cope at Christmas, or how I managed to actually get over hating Christmas and to create a Christmas celebration that I'm actually looking forward to this year. So I've got some tips if this is your case, because I know it's a very tricky time for many people. People who are alone, and also people who are, surrounded by family and friends they might not connect with, and also family or people or couples who feel like they just want to break free and divorce and what have you, and they feel very stifled and trapped by their family situation. So it's a very, very tricky time. We're all kind of, the other day I was actually in the street in Barcelona, and it was the Black Friday, the weekend after, and the streets were full. It was jam-packed, people rushing to shops, and I was thinking, I'm so glad I'm not part of that, because I just don't participate in that a commercial nature that leads up to Christmas. I don't buy any presents for anyone. It's the best way, really. And also I surround myself with like-minded people, and that's one of my number one tips, actually. So many people that I spend my time with are not commercial, they're not materialistic, and they will not be buying Christmas presents this year, which is wonderful. So I have a lot of friends who are also single and child-free, so that kind of really does help because we're in similar situations. So anyway, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my situation, about why I hated Christmas so much. I think it was because I used to be a workaholic, and even though, that might sound like a fun thing when you are working in the field of sexual wellness, it's a fun job, there's no doubt about it. But when you have a fun job, and also when you're freelance, sometimes you don't know when work ends and life begins. It's very fuzzy, this the barrier between them. And also what I'm talking about is a fairly personal topic, but I found that I was working so much that when, let's say, the weekend came or Christmas, it was kind of like putting a magnifying glass on the rest of my life, the non-working part of my life, and I did not like what I saw. I saw that for many years I wasn't paying attention to my personal life. I wasn't prioritizing friendships. I wasn't prioritizing my intimate life, even though my job is about sexuality. I didn't like dating apps. I didn't really meet people. It was very, very hard for me. I had lots of, misconceptions and lots of limited beliefs. I had a lot of healing to do as well with my own traumas. So that's something that really has helped me now to enjoy weekends more, enjoy holiday times more, is to actually make a big distinction between my work life and my personal life. I've really focused on that. And how have I done that? One of the best things that I did was to start a meetup group. I have a meetup group here in Barcelona called Barcelona Conscious Connections on meetup.com. And at first I was thinking, I'm kind of a shy leader. I'm not going to be very good at having my own group. I'm not very outgoing in that sense, even though it might be difficult to believe. But I did it anyway, and it's been the best thing ever. I am responsible for many friendships being created, and a lot of people are recurring members. They come to my events every week and they love it, and lots of friendships have been born in my events. And I just love seeing people get on and then exchange numbers, and I think, ooh, I did that. It's kind of cool, not just for my ego, but I'm thinking, yeah, it's good for my karma as well. So that's something that I take great pleasure in, and it's just brings me so much joy. So if you haven't found a group that you want, I would encourage you to create it. Also, my life as a freelancer, as writing a lot of the time, is a very lonely life. Like, for example, now it's 4:00 on a Friday afternoon. I've been alone all morning, and now I'm going to go out to a private members club, and that's something that really has changed my life. I go to a private members club / social club, and there I have met some incredible friends. I mean, sometimes you can be members of clubs, but you don't always get to meet great friends there. I mean, for me, what has helped me is actually hosting events in the places where I'm a member. And then everyone gets to know me. And because I'm talking about sexuality, a lot of people come up to me and they start telling me their secrets because they perceive me as a non-judgmental person, which is amazing, which is very flattering. And also it brings that kind of energy of intimacy and vulnerability, which I think is really important for honest communication as well. So yeah, those are the things I've been doing. So private members club, I used to go to lots of co-workings as well, so to get me out of the house, to get me mingling, and also going to lots of other events just to really, pay attention to things in my social life, because I gave up alcohol 8.5 years ago. So I've been really mindful about creating a sober social life with like-minded groups, like-minded with things that I enjoy, such as nature, meditation, some spirituality groups, some book clubs, and also the group that I have created, which is a kind of vegan dining group, really. And then, so that's something that has really, really helped me. And now I'm so looking forward to Christmas. Another thing I have done, let me see my list. Another thing I did last year, which I would highly recommend, is doing some charity work around Christmas. There are lots of people who need, lots of organisations that do need an extra pair of hands during Christmas. And I remember last year on Christmas Eve, I joined an organisation called Esperanza here in Barcelona, and we gave food to the homeless. And it was a very eye-opening experience. I mean, the gratitude I felt of coming home at the end of that and coming back to a warm bed, I can't even describe it to you. But also I find that in Spain, the many years that I've been living here, Christmas Eve is almost like the pandemic, because the streets are empty, everyone is with their families, because that's when people mainly celebrate here. And the silence of the streets was very strange for me the first few years, because I was used to there being always people in the streets, always noise and always people around, whereas on that night it's like, ooh, you're alone. But actually there's always someone who's worse off than you. And when you kind of go and meet these people and give them food, I mean, you should be doing it all year round, really. It's good to kind of get into that vibe of helping others, I think. But especially at Christmas, I mean, a lot of people who are dedicated to charity work, they might be doing their own things with their own families. And I think these organisations do need an extra pair of hands. And there are also other things you can do, not just homeless, but there are many organisations such as, I don't know any names, but there are, for example, ones that might have something to do with, like, let's say, old people who are alone, who don't have families, and they might need some company. So there's so many things to do, and I think you can get a great deal of peace from doing something like that, and gives you a little bit of perspective, and it's also helping someone else. So that's a really good thing to do. And I even said to myself that I would do that every year from now on. However, this year I do have other plans. So I've got lots of friends who are going to be around at Christmas, and who also hate Christmas just like me. So that's probably my next point, actually, is just to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's been something that has helped me enormously. It's one of the highlights of my year this year. And that has come from actually not working at the weekends and really paying attention to my social life and being mindful about how I'm spending my free time, and not being, I used to kind of just look forward to Monday or even work at the weekends, which really wasn't good for my life. And, as a result, I just felt so lonely. It was awful. Yes, it was awful. But yeah, and then the other thing I did, which has been really cool, is in December 2019, which was kind of like, how would I say, I reached a limit on my loneliness, because I was lonely. I had a pandemic life before the pandemic. I spent so much time alone, working remotely, being in pajamas all day, and yeah, just the loneliness, really. And in 2019, I decided to declare a month of self-love in December 2019, because I thought, I've got to stop this. I need to break the pattern. And I remember I did so many cool things. For example, I went to a breathwork and Ho'oponopono workshop. Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian meditation. There are 4 sentences. I can't remember the exact order. I think it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And within those 4 sentences, which keep repeating throughout, you've got love, you've got gratitude, and you've got forgiveness, which are they're all very, very strong, very profound emotions. And I remember in this, and we're combining that with breath work. And breath work is very powerful. And I remember everyone was in this circle with this really loud music with the mantras of the Ho'oponopono sentences, affirmations, and everyone had this blanket over them, and everyone was crying in a room with all these strangers, but it was so cathartic. It was really good. And then I did acupressure, my first kind of Reiki experience. And one thing that I did which was really cool is I went on my very first yoga retreat. And that is something I would highly recommend, just to get away from all that jingle bells vibe and go somewhere else. I mean, I was thinking, who is going to go away on a Christmas yoga retreat? Who am I going to find in a place like this? And I went to a retreat in Alicante. I actually made a video about it on this channel. I think I have a travel playlist, so check it out. Honestly, this experience was absolutely life-changing. And also in Alicante, in Spain, you get days of like 20 degrees and sunny in the day in winter. It's a bit chilly at night, but it was amazing to be. I do yoga. I don't really do yoga every day, but I do love yoga retreats. I love the vibe. It feels like I'm coming home in some strange way, because I love, it's mainly vegetarian, vegan food, and it's sober. There's lots of meditation, which I'm really into meditation. And nature as well, and silence, which was the first time I actually experienced half of the day in silence during hiking and during breakfast, and the most incredible food. And I remember when I arrived there, I was thinking, who's going to go to a Christmas yoga retreat? And we were 11 women, and half of those women, it was their very first Christmas without their children, because they'd just gone through some pretty nasty divorces. So that really opened my mind and my eyes to different people's situations. And there was no jingle bells or anything like that. But on Christmas Day, we had a kirtan, and Kirtan, and I was like, what's a kirtan? I had no idea what it was. And what it was bhakti yoga, singing yoga. And we went into we sang these mantras for like 10 minutes, like Shiva, 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 Shambho. And then it was, even though I didn't know the lyrics, after so much repetition, you kind of got it after a minute, and everyone was in their own kind of world. And then you're singing, and it's kind of like being back at school, but gradually the song gains momentum. It gets kind of more lively. It reaches almost a climax. Then it gets softer and softer and slower to the point where it's silence. And there's this beautiful silence between the songs where everyone is in this kind of solitary contemplation. And then the next song starts. And it was like that these 10-minute songs. And I remember when it was such a profound experience for me. I just thought, I'm never going to listen to commercial music again. I found it life-changing. And when I came back from that, I was listening to mantras all the time. One of my favorites was Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. I listened to like 3-hour tracks of it. So for me, that was and also coming out of retreats, like coming out of rehab. Not that I've ever been to rehab, but you're in this kind of cocoon, and then you get thrust into the real world where people are eating McDonald's and drinking alcohol and smoking. You're like, oh my God, I've been protected from this. So it's a kind of really nice introspective thing to do. You kind of get away to fight to get within. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're kind of getting away from your life, escaping, but you're kind of to face yourself, which is a beautiful thing as well. I also had a Reiki experience in that retreat, which was way better than the first one, and there was a lot of healing. Everyone was crying. Also in retreats, which what I find is the conversations when you meet new people, it's not like, my name, what's your name, where are you from? It's more like, what's your name, what's your trauma? or people kind of openly tell you what they're healing, what they're trying to work on. And that means that when you have that kind of connection with people, it tends to create deeper bonds and a more authentic connection. So yes, and I was telling myself, I'm going to do this every year. But finally, fortunately, over the last few years, my social life has improved so much. And I remember the year after that, I think because of the pandemic, we couldn't really travel. So I made some events with my group, Conscious Connections. And everyone was just so grateful to me because I can't remember which year exactly, but a lot of people couldn't travel. So even people who had people to spend Christmas with, they couldn't just because of the travel restrictions. And I remember people just everyone was coming to me in this big dinner that I organised on Christmas Day with incredible gratitude. And I was thinking, I did it for me. I did it for me. I'm really grateful that what I did benefited others. And this year I'm going to have so many celebrations. I've even got a WhatsApp group with all my friends, and we have so many things to look forward to. I've got home dinners at my house, at different people's houses. I've got a friend who's having a birthday party. I've got a friend coming from England. And it's going to be so much fun. And that's because I have focused on my personal life. Yes. So I'm really reaping the benefits of that. But there will still be no Christmas trees, no jingle bells, and no presents. So it's definitely possible to escape all of that Christmas stuff, and no TV. So I'm not listening to all this music all day and adverts, which is just so depressing, I find. So I've created my own life, which is a bubble, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to be looking forward to the time off as well, and also indulging in delicious, delicious food. So I hope this inspires you if you're not a Christmas person, because now I've gone 108. I've changed, but I'm still not pro Christmas. I'm just looking forward to a winter holiday with the people who are very special to me in my life right now. And I created it. So you can create it too, hopefully. I hope you can create some new Christmas traditions this year that are full of self-love, balance, and gratitude. Anyway, if anyone has anything to add to this, please leave a comment below. And as I'm doing Vlogmas, if you have any suggestions for new videos, please write to me, venus@venussahara.org, or you can make a comment here, because I'm going to be reading and answering all of the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for watching if you got to this far. Mwah.